Hi everyone, it's Coach Fred here, and today I'm going over a question that if you're starting pre-calculus right now, and it's August, you might be working on equations of lines and reviewing, and also equations of circles. So I thought this was a really great question. I recently saw in some notes when I was working with a student. My good friend Carlton Hawk actually provided this in his notes. So I'm just going to do a quick video review on it. And it asks you to state the center and the radius of the circle equation, find the equation of the line tangent to the circle at a given point, and write your answer in standard form, and then to find the x and the y intercepts of the circle. So it's really an all-encompassing question with a lot of stuff to do. So let's just remember that the equation of a circle is always in the form x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And so kind of important to know it resembles the Pythagorean theorem because this actually comes from the Pythagorean theorem. And so that's how I remember there's a plus in the middle. But my center would be then it would be negative 3, 1, right? And then my radius would be root 17. So nice, easy question. You might have done that in geometry, maybe in algebra 2. Now it says find the equation of a line. And anytime I see find the equation of a line, Coach Fred likes to think of like really one big thing. What's the minimum I need to write the equation of a line? Think about it. So the minimum you need to write the equation of a line is a point and a slope. So I always write down point and slope for myself. The minimum you need to write the equation of a line is a point and a slope. And if you have those two things, then you can use point slope to write an equation of a line. Okay, so now it says find the equation of a line to the circle or tangent to the circle at negative 2, 5. So, it's a little tricky, but here I'm going to just quickly draw a coordinate plane. I'm going to quickly draw a picture of myself. For myself, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know the center was negative 3, 1. Negative 3, 1. So I'm going to put a dot there. That's my center. I'm going to put a C. And then there's this point, negative 2, 5 up here. And I know that the circle is, the equation of the line is tangent at that point. So that means that's actually on the circle. So I've got a picture, maybe something like that. And so the tangent line goes maybe something like that. Okay. So my point is, I actually have a point on the line. I have the point of tangency. It's on the circle and on the line. So that's my point, negative 2, 5. Okay, but now I need a slope. Well, in order to find a slope, you need 2 points, and we only have 1, right? We do have another point, though. We do have the center. We have the center point, negative 3, 1. Oh, actually, I'm going to not put it there. Let me put it here. Negative 3, 1. And then I've got this point right here, which is negative 2, 5. So, actually that means that I can actually find the slope from here to here. And what we need to remember from our previous classes is that a radius to a tangent, geometry, radius to a tangent forms a perpendicular line, forms perpendicular lines, is perpendicular to the line. So a radius drawn to a tangent is perpendicular. So I can find the slope of the green line, okay? So let me do that. I'm going to find the slope of the green line. I'm going to do y2 minus y1, or change in y over a change in x. And that's going to give me, let's see, 5 minus 1 all over negative 2 plus 3, which gives me 4 over 1. So my slope of my green line is 4. But I need the slope of the purple line. But now I know they're perpendicular, and so the perpendicular slope would be the negative or opposite reciprocal, so negative 1/4. All right, so I have my point and I have my slope. Now, the question does say put it in standard form, and I always think that's tricky for kids. You really can't write an equation in standard form. I guess you could, but it would just take you a long time. The forms that you write in are either in slope-intercept form or point-slope form. So honestly, I like to use point-slope form. I have a point, I have a slope, use point-slope. So I'm going to plug that right in. y minus 5 equals negative 1/4 x minus 2. Okay, so now I have an equation of a line, but I want an equivalent equation. I want the standard form equation. So now all I have to do is move this, manipulate this equation, and get it into standard form. Standard form is ax plus by equals c, where a and b are integers. So they have to be whole numbers, and positive or negative whole numbers, depending on what your teacher says they want a to be. So how would I do that? Well, I would distribute my negative 1/4. So y minus 5 equals negative 1/4 x plus 1/2. And then Coach Fred, she just doesn't love fractions, and I know that I need that value in front of x to be a whole number. So I'm actually just going to clear the fractions. I'm going to multiply the entire equation by 4. It's going to make it really pretty and easier for me. So 4y minus 20 equals negative x plus 2. And so to get it into ax plus by equals c, sorry, I got to come over here. I'm going to add the x to the other side, so x plus 4y. I'm going to add the 20 to the other side. Oh, actually, this should have been an x plus 2. Just looking at that right now. It was x minus 2, so that should have been x plus 2. Sorry about that, which would have made this minus 1/2, which would have made this minus 2. Sorry about that, guys. Calculation error, we all make them. All right, so then I would add 20 to both sides, which would give me 18. Caught myself. So there's my standard form equation. Point slope is the easiest one for me, and that's just what I use all the time, because when you get to calculus, point slope form, you could leave equations in point slope form. All right, to find the x and y intercepts, to remind you, to find the x-intercept, you set y equal to 0 and solve for x. And to find the y-intercept, you set x equal to 0 and solve for y. Okay, I'm just going to find x real quick. I'll let you find y on your own. So I'm going to set y equal to 0. I'm going to plug in 0. I'm going to substitute 0 in for y into the equation, giving me x plus 3 squared plus 0 minus 1. So 1 squared is 1, equals 17. So x plus 3 squared equals 16 when I subtract 1 to both sides. You don't multiply out x plus 3 squared. I mean, you could. It's just going to take you much longer. Remember, when you have a square equaling a number, you can take the square root of both sides, so that would be a little bit easier. But what you don't want to forget is that when you take the square root of both sides, that you have to consider the plus and minus 16. So that would be plus or minus 4. And so subtract 3, always putting it in front of the plus minus, just so that it's easier. Oops. So you get x equals negative 3 plus 4, which is 1, negative 3 plus 4, which is 1, and negative 3 minus 4, which is negative 7. I always like to write intercepts as ordered pairs, so that would be 1, 0, and negative 7, 0. All right. You can do y on your own, same exact process. So hopefully that was a helpful video. Have a wonderful day.